To obtain a perfect Cornell note, you're going to need the following items: a highlighter, a pen, and if you do not have a highlighter, you can always use another pen, but it must be in a different color, and of course, a piece of paper. You can get all of the supplies at a school supply store or your local Office Depot. Now, to get the perfect Cornell note, you obviously need to create the Cornell note format. You're going to fold this over and leave 1/3 of the paper on the left for questions and 2/3 on the right for notes. Notes, questions. You're obviously going to need a header too. You're going to need your name, your teacher's name, the subject, and the date. Like I did, Mariah Cortez, Mr. McFadden, my teacher, United States History AP, my subject, and the date that I took these notes on. On the left, you are going to need your topic. Your topic should be very clear. It should be something that reflects the bottom of the page, so when you go back to these notes, you can just read the top and know what this Cornell note's about. Like mine, Provincial America and the Struggle for a Continent, Chapter 4. Essential question. This question should also reflect your notes. Like mine, what was the cause and effect of the French and Indian War? You can tell that I am learning about the French and Indian War. Now, for the most important part, the notes. How to keep them organized. You should take your highlighter and highlight all the main points and key ideas in the Cornell note like I did. Early French and Indian War. To make this process also go faster, you should use abbreviations and symbols that I highlighted for you in green. Okay, also use your your left. Your left because you can also jot down different notes and show how much of an importance something is. Like you can see, I put a star right next to this because it must be important. I also put a question, so when a teacher asks this, I know who is a part of it. Like, who was involved? I put an arrow and put the answer right next to it. Britain and France. As you go down my Cornell notes, as you can see, I switched topics because I highlighted it again. I used a different technique for this one. I used bullet points. As you can see, I highlighted these too. And I still use symbols. Okay, now that we are down to the last part, you're going to need a summary, which I highlighted as well. Your summary should be 3 to 5 sentences, and if you obviously don't have enough room, you can always go to the back and finish. Your summary should answer your essential question and should also talk a little bit about what your notes were. Okay, tips. Students, you should always create your Cornell note format before entering the classroom. It makes things go much faster and you get to write more information down. You should also write information that the teacher is simply speaking. Okay, for a teacher, you can always provide Cornell notes for students by making a website and giving them the chance to print out their own Cornell notes to also make your class go much faster. Tutors also give us tips on how much our Cornell notes could be better. You can also provide your page of your own Cornell notes or your peers since you're in college and show what a true Cornell note might look like. tell us to add more abbreviations, to highlight more, or get to the point in our notes. And that is how you do a perfect Cornell note.